So you join me here today on my 2001 Ford Transit, where we are attacking a very specific problem. It's had a very slow leak of power steering fluid, which I suspect is from here because this part of the line is pretty dry. It's wet there, so I assume that the return is leaking, perhaps from the top, perhaps the clamp doesn't hold enough tension anymore. Whatever, we will fix that. But one of the other problems is you can see it's wet on the top as well. So the O-ring in this cap is virtually flat with the sides, just where it's old and it's been taken on and off so many times. So the first thing I'm going to do is replace the O-ring on this cap, clean all of this off, and then replace that. Obviously in between doing this I'm going to have to bleed out the whole system. I'm going to change the fluid as well. When this much fluid escapes, you can almost guarantee that loads of crud gets in. So we're going to try and remedy that today. So, just want to get my little pick under there. Woo! And just pull the O-ring out. That's sending the cap flying somewhere. Goodness knows where. There it is. Take two. You just pull off your O-ring. And then you find the next best size, which I believe is this size here, and then we will fit this O-ring over here, and then that will seal up our cap for us very nicely. So you can see when looking side on how much extra the seal pokes out around the edge. That is the way that it should be, because that is what is going to create a seal when we screw this back on. So what I've done, I just realised one of the clips on this is slightly broken. So I'm going to put some cable ties on that just to hold that down for the time being. I will get a new cap, but that's not going to arrive today, but I still want to carry on and get this sorted because I can't drive it like that and I've got work on Monday. So this clamp here, I've just moved down a little bit just so that it clamps onto something fresh. This clamp here, I've moved out of the way and I'm going to remove the hose. Obviously it's going to dump out the rest of the power steering fluid. So I've got a little tray underneath which I'm going to position. And then I will turn the wheel lock to lock, which will pump the rest of whatever's left in the system out of this hose, which is the return hose. So we'll just turn the wheel lock to lock, get all of the fluid out, and then we will connect everything back up and then refill the fluid, and away we should go. So what I've done is I've angled that hose down, I've angled that down. They're both aimed into my little bucket down there, so they'll catch any drips. Now what I need to do is turn the wheel lock to lock with the engine off to push any extra fluid out of the system, out of the reservoir, so it's nice and empty, and then I can refill it with some lovely fresh stuff. It's quite simple really. Just keep turning the wheel, and that'll push all the rest of the power steering fluid out of the system. So just keep going lock to lock 10 times or so, and then go and check how much has come out. And just keep going till you get every drop out. The cleaner, or should I say the cleaner, obviously you want to be clean, the better that you can drain it, the better the result that you're going to get. You can see how filthy that is, can't you? That should be like a nice bright red colour, like the new stuff in here. Looks like pinky colour. So it's definitely worn. It's only a couple of years old, so it just goes to show that moisture and dirt's been getting in there. Shame. I like to just keep draining mine until there's nothing left dripping out. And now we'll reassemble it and put in our nice new fluid. So now what we want to do is top it back up. See, that's the colour it should be. Lovely and red. It's definitely going to take this whole litre. I think it takes around about 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill this up all the way, and then we'll turn the wheel lock to lock again to bring some of the fluid through the system, and then we'll carry on refilling. So we'll leave it just there for now. Just keep turning, just keep turning. As you can see, the fluid level has dropped a little bit, but not very much, so we'll carry on turning the wheel. Now that she's dropped down a lot more, we'll top it off again. This time we'll just go to the max mark, and then we'll stop. There we go. And now we'll just carry on doing the same thing and see if it pulls more fluid through. Okay, I'm satisfied I've got enough fluid in the system, so what I'm going to do, make sure it's in neutral first. I'm going to start the engine and just go lock to lock a couple of times, and then check the fluid again. So I'm just going to let it idle, let some of the air bleed out, and then I'll put it back on the ground and turn the wheel lock to lock with the weight of the vehicle on it. You'll probably find that once it's properly loaded, the fluid level will change again with the weight of the vehicle on it. The pump has to work harder. Well, obviously I've still got a little bit of extra work to do, which you won't see outside of the video. I need to get a new cap, probably just get one from the breakers. There's also a Ford dealer pretty close to here. But this is fine for the time being. I'm not really worried about it coming out the top too much. There was only a tiny bit of residue here. Most of it was leaking out the bottom, which I've sorted now. I've run the engine up to temperature, taken it lock to lock. The fluid is still at the maximum. I haven't actually taken it for drive yet, so that's the next thing. I'll take it for drive, check the fluid level again. I was sure this system was supposed to take just under 2 litres, but I've put in less than 1 litre so far, so I'll see how I go. I'll take it for a quick spin and then I'll check the fluid again. But yeah, hopefully if you are losing fluid, that this video was helpful to you.